freedom. Free to do as you please. Vote with your feet. Grow a pair.
Live happy, fun-loving, and carefree.
Grow a pair. Vote with your feet. It's all about your freedom. If I could distill down my thinking to one word, it's about freedom. I try to share it with you in Live Happy, Fun-Loving, and Carefree, and about being happy and doing what you like to do. But if I can bring it down to one word, it all distills down to that word, freedom. And it's crazy windy here today. We're supposed to be getting really bad weather tonight. And see, I'm laughing and being silly because what can you do? You know, we might get tornadoes during the night tonight. I'm standing in the woods here because if I was out in the yard, my hat would blow right off my head. But that's, again, it's about freedom. It's about you being happy. Whatever it is that you want to do, that you have the right to make a choice one way or the other. And what makes me think of that is what's been going on, of course, for the last couple of years here now, is our government with all these mandates and things and telling people that they have to do things. My thinking, and I hope it's your thinking too, is government, the people in government are our representatives. They're supposed to be our voice in Washington, D.C. for here in the United States. They're not our parents. They're not our leaders. They're supposed to represent us. I don't want them to tell me or you what to do. If they should provide assistance, they should provide a voice, they should provide information, but you know, we've got the right to choose. If you want to do something, great, and if you don't think that that choice is right for you, you should be free to not make that choice. And here comes the wind, so hopefully you can hear what I'm saying. But, I mean, does that make sense to you, what I'm saying? So that's where the thought about what has been a long-standing concept in this country is voting with your feet. And the people in New York, the people in Illinois, the people in California, boy, are they voting with their feet right now. They are leaving the states in droves. It really is amazing. And that's kind of what I want to talk about too, is what is the best place for you to think about living, for your freedoms, for your choices, to grow a set, grow a pair for yourself and your family, and make the choice to vote with your feet. But then where do you go? Where are you supposed to go that's better than the place that you're in now, if the place you're in now isn't living up to your expectations? So hold that thought for a second, because something that I want to bring up again about the being happy thing is the last video that I made is what YouTube calls shorts. It's a vertical video. It's you know, the tall and skinny ones, so you can watch it on your phone. And it was about 55 seconds. They got to be less than a minute. It's a satire, humorous video about being unvaccinated. I thought it was funny as heck. I just was trying to have a good time, but evidently I pretty much pissed off everybody. So I guess I'm an equal opportunity offender. So I'll put a link to that video in the description, and then I'll pin it in the comment too, so you can get it either from the description or the comment. I had more people unsubscribe in the 48 hours after I uploaded that video than I think I've ever had unsubscribed from my channel since I started it more than a decade ago. So it's just crazy. I just wanted to make a video to be silly and funny and humorous, and just look for the happiness in any situation. And I get it. I get that people dying is bad. You know, I don't want any of my loved ones to pass. I don't want, you know, a relative, friends, people that I know, you know, again, the friends, the relatives, family members, a child. Trust me, Losing a child is nothing that anybody should have to go through. It's a bad thing. I get it. But, you know, we have to go on living every day. Every day you wake up, every day I wake up, and we get to live another day. And you might as well be happy and fun-loving and carefree and living with joy in your life, because you only die once, and then it doesn't matter as far as you're concerned or I'm concerned. So, you know, we've got to go on living. So just living in fear, living in anger, living in sadness because of what's going on today, it just doesn't make sense to me. I want to be a happy person. I want to enjoy the days that I have on this rock flying around the sun. And I'm assuming you do too. So don't unsubscribe. Maybe have your friends subscribe, and after you watch that other video. Again, I think it's funny as heck talking about being unvaccinated, but anyway, that's my thinking. So voting with your feet, moving to a place that's better for you so that you can do what you want. Again, I've said it forever, rules are made up by one group of people to control another group of people. And really that's all this mandate rule stuff is. Again, my opinion, it's not really focused on health. People in Washington, they're in it for the power. They may go in it with good intentions, but absolute power corrupts absolutely. And that's what ends up happening, is it ends up being a power trip for them to make up rules so that everybody else follows along. And, you know, never let a good crisis go to waste. As long as they can keep all of us scared and fearful of what's going on, they get to do what they want. And it's got nothing to do with one party or the other party. Again, they're all power hungry. They're all in it for themselves. I mean, it's, in my memory, it started back like with the Patriot Act. So I'm not trying to put a label on anybody, and you can put whatever labels you want. I'm just talking about you and me being free to make the choices that we want to make, to live where that we can live so that we can make our choices. So as you exit a state, a location that is full of rules, that's just telling you what to do day in and day out, you can't go to a restaurant, you can go to a restaurant, you can't gather with more, you know, than 6 of your friends or whatever. Where do you go to? So to be clear, I just want all of us to be happy. I want you to be happy. I want me to be happy. I want everybody out there to be happy. I'm not trying to upset anybody. I would never make a video to intentionally upset people. That's not my goal. I'm just trying to have a laugh and have a good time and see the humor in every situation, so that I'm not stressed and I can just wake up in the morning and live my life. And that's what I want you to get up in the morning and live your life. So I'm not anti-vaccine. I think there are good vaccines. I think this mRNA technology has all kinds of promise in the future for treating things. I just don't think that somebody should force you or force me to do something. So, you know, you've got to live where you want to live and move. So think about those things. I mentioned New York, Illinois, and California. Obviously, those are heavy rule types of states that people are in your face day in and day out telling you what to do. People are moving to places like Texas, like Florida, like Tennessee, maybe Arkansas, you know. And there's no one right place. You know, what's right for you isn't right, because people will say, well, what state do you live in, Rob? Where I live isn't important to you, because if you're older, you might want to live in one state. Maybe income tax isn't a big deal to you if you don't have income, if you're retired. If you're young and starting your family, being able to homeschool, which I highly recommend, is something that you want to consider. You don't want to move to a state that has really strict homeschooling rules or doesn't allow it or that. You want to live in a place that's very friendly to that. because of kids in school, out of school. Remote learning, we get to go to school 3 days a week. It's just, there's no common sense to what they're doing. It's just, that's when politicians make decisions, it's just bad. So those are the things you want to think about. Property taxes, you know, the income taxes, the homeschooling regulations, what hoops do you have to jump through if you want to, you know, do certain things on your property or that. Those are all things that you have to weigh, and you need to decide what's the most important for you. If you're going to live in a small, tiny home, the property tax isn't going to be a factor. If you want to live in a larger home on a bigger piece of land, you know, property tax might be an issue. So think about all those things. Pick the place that's right for you. You vote with your feet. I don't want to upset anybody. My goal is for you to be happy, fun-loving, and carefree, living with freedom in your life. Get the vaccine if you want to get the vaccine. Don't get the vaccine. Send your kids to whatever school you want to. Homeschool them. And hope that you don't get a tornado when you're sleeping tonight, because control the things you can control and just let the things that you can't control slide by. Happy, fun-loving, and carefree. Grow a set. Vote with your feet. Freedom.